he's coming out of the end zone. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. The give to the back. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. Wants to fire on second down. He's looking deep. Hauls in the deep ball. And he's brought down after a huge completion. He is flat slinging it. Tigers hope they can put together an offense like that Deshaun Watson-led group in 2015 that went for over 5,000 yards.
Yeah, and he was so hard to stick out. He was fun to watch, and you watch him scramble around, make plays with his legs. And this offense, it's kind of evolved over the years, and they've changed, but it's pretty much the same. They're going to feature their quarterback. They're going to throw the football, and he's usually a dang stud.
Breaks into the open. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17.
One of the things I love about this offense is they're very versatile in their passing attack. They throw to receivers and tight ends, and the screen game is big as well. This guy is a weapon, and you're seeing that here early.
The Tigers will snap it on 1st and 10. Out of the gun to give to the back. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Looking down the middle. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick.
That is the perfect start for a defense that has really struggled against the pass this season. They're in the bottom portion, okay? Have struggled, but opening drive, making a statement.
Leaves it with the running back. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4-yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Lets it fly. He's got it at the 30. The freshman brought down after bringing that one in. A terrific throw that time, and when you play quarterback here, there's a pretty rich legacy to try to live up to.
And just finding that guy that just makes it look easy. I think the Vols fans will really appreciate that, when a guy that can push it down the field, make the right decisions consistently, be smart at that quarterback spot.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Grab behind the line. It's Butler. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
They've moved it to the 25, but now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. They'll send out the kicker here. This is not a straight-on kick, a 42-yarder from the right hash. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready. Pass is on the touchback. Here he comes. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Wants to go up top on first down. A little release to the back. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. They've built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy, when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
Power football with the run. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
And the Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the right. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him, just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
The noise reverberating off the checkerboards in Neyland on third down. Blasted as he lets it go. He's got the tight end. Finally corralled, but not before he picks up the first down.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Looking to throw on first down. Hines is back in the middle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
So now it's second and long. Back to pass. Quickly to the tight end. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. We've come to the end of the period, and Tennessee leads it. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. Just keeps swinging it. Can't find the man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, we want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheels. He's fast, he's elusive, can make big plays. Nice job by the defense keeping him in the pocket and getting the sack.
Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
The Vols with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They'll go to the ground. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
That's such a great physical play by the defense because this is one of the bigger, more physical running backs you'll see in the country, and we're used to seeing him push the pile the other direction. Not that time. It's the big guys up front on defense getting penetration, and they're sending him back for a tackle for loss.
They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down.
Offenses know and work on it all week. Third downs, we got to be really, really good. This offense not good on this 3rd down. It could come back to bite them.
Timeout call by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. And the Vols will bring the punt team onto the field. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Gets the first one of the day out of there. He ought to be fresh. They only used him twice in that victory last week. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. Has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Things haven't gone exactly the way they drew it up. Turnover, punt, and now there he goes. And after gobbling up some serious yardage and showing off those wheels, he's finally out of bounds.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just
the field and get that running back out into space to use his speed, but the defense looked like they were already lined up expecting that play, and they force a negative.
The Tigers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Off the play fake. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
I just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game. Running more, throwing it. The second half, throwing it specifically. I think they need to find a better rhythm. You've got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
This crowd knows they have to bring it in big moments, and one of those has arrived. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Looking for the score. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll run it from the gun. May not be the most memorable play of the day, but it's important as he gets them out to the 25-yard line.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Volunteers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. Intercepted, number 19.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the windows are smaller, and that's what happens down near the goal line, David. But for this quarterback here, just take accountability and ownership and come out here and lead your offense.
And move on. Like, we needed points. That's something that we can harp on. We'll watch the tape this week, but now it's time to move on. Let's get another drive going.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and they've got a chance to lock this thing up before the break. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. It's complete on the right side. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football. You can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Looking to throw on 3rd. Oh, they're after him. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet.
Really nice awareness that time by the quarterback. He knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up the first down. He's scrambling on that play, and there are a lot of guys out there that would slide, that would try to run out of bounds, protect themselves, but that was really tough what he did. He put his body on the line to go pick up that first.
I don't know that there's a harder position in football to play than quarterback. You know, all the space in the game, the speed of the game, the big bodies out wide, but to be able to break on those short passes and be an open field tackler like that, and give up no yards and protect deep, that's a nice job.
Great job at containing by this defense, and in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. That's exactly what happened.
They'll keep it on the ground. Oh, he's got some space. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11.
Well, this offense, they started the drive with great field position. They're being methodical here. They're not hitting the home run necessarily and scoring these big explosive touchdowns, but they're getting 3rd down conversions. They're staying on the field. They do a nice job there running the football. They look like they're in control. That's a good sign.
Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. What a tackle in the backfield. He'll lose 6 on the play. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. 3rd down play in the red zone, and this crowd is at fever pitch. Here's the handoff. Breaks the tackle. He won't get there. It'll bring up 4th down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. It's wise not to be too greedy, and they'll go ahead and send out the field goal unit. This whole place is going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. And this one is perfect. And the 3-ball locks us up as we get closer to the half. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Quickly out to the tight end. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. That's why the good Lord invented tight ends, isn't it, David? Get a good pickup on first down, open up the entire playbook.
And it just makes life so easy on quarterbacks. I mean, you got these guys that are so gifted athletically that you can do everything with them. They're like overgrown wide receivers, and now understanding zone.
Gonna take a shot. It's a big stride inside the 10. And the tackle was made, but there has been a flag thrown. They had the first down before that penalty backed them up, and now they'll snap it on second down. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. One more snap coming before halftime. Wants to throw on first down. Under fire. Pressure is all over him, and he can't get it off. Down he goes, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Clemson will kick this deep to get the second half underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here is the Tennessee offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. From the gun, the running back looking for room. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Fires to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's Jefferson. And they got the defense on that one, and they get it to the 29-yard line. Another big play on the outside, and that's the thing that historically has gotten Rocky Top rolling.
Yeah, so much fun to watch playmakers outside that they can run by you and go make big plays. Opens up the whole field, the whole offense, and this Orange fan base goes absolutely bananas.
They'll give him one to the 28-yard line.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Guard in the backfield. It's Chubb. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
How about that? The dying breed of the tackling cornerback. You don't see those anymore. Everybody wants to be great in coverage. Everybody wants to get picks. But how many corners really want to get their face in the fan and make tackles? Nice job by that pick.
Trying play action. Looking to scramble. He'll throw it. And they can't make the play on third down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
splits the uprights. Good. And with that, they've taken the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Big one in the Big 12, and take a look at how things are playing out here. Texas Tech is currently trailing right now, but it's only a couple of points. That quarterback just needs to show the poise of a young Patrick Mahomes, and they are right back in this. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to TCU. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about in this one, the Big 12, or anywhere else. Ben?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll give it to the back. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Right back to him on the ground. They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
Hauls it in. They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on 2nd down. They'll leave it with the lone back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
You know, if you want to run the ball up the middle, you're going to have to block that guy. I mean, nobody even touched him, and he slanted right into the backfield, made the tackle for him.
Neyland Stadium alive. A cauldron of orange noise on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Bringing the heat. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
This is a situation here in the 3rd quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line.
You know, with defense, it's this pick or poison game, right? Like, I got to play a little bit soft and make them run the football, but when I do that, I give the running back space, and right there you could tell he takes advantage of it.
And the Volunteers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
These RPO runs, they're like body blows. I like them because it just sort of chips away at a defense. You'll take these kind of gains all game long. You keep running the football this way, you're going to keep moving the sticks. You're going to keep driving this defense back, so keep at it with the RPO game.
From the 44-yard line, the offense snaps it on 1st down. The run from the shotgun. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
They'll go 4 wide, twin receivers on either side on 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Under fire. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Another incompletion, and the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the middle. A strike downfield. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
See, I like this tight end because he's not just running flat routes and little stick routes and drags. This guy can get vertically down the field. He showed you his speed there running the crosser.
Off the play fake on 1st down. They're working that left side. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. That's the end of the quarter, and Tennessee has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. The inside handoff. Had to work to pick up 3 down to the 33-yard line.
And how about this offense, man? Being able to succeed, still winning without their bell cow, without their star being their star. This offense has not had a great game on the ground, but they're still in the lead.
The Vols are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. And the Vols are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. Trying to beat the D deep. And to the end zone. Touchdown Volunteer!
And man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the 2-score lead in the 4th quarter, everything going in their direction.
And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looks like he's going to bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocked.
It opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
They'll go back to the air on 2nd down. They'll run the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
I don't love the play call at this juncture in the game. You're down. You've got to take shots. The defense is not going to be blitzing, so these screens probably aren't going to work.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. He can't haul it in. Incomplete. He had him on the crossing route, and he dropped it.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Trying to get behind the defense. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
They'll try to get it in with the run. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Caught in the backfield, it's Boston. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Now, what a great play by that cornerback. There's so much space out here in football, the way they spread you out. But to be able to break on the football when it's thrown on those quick passes like that, nice job by the cornerback.
Oh, and he dropped it. He had a touchdown right in his hands and couldn't hang on. It'll be fourth down. So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Didn't make him sweat at all. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. UCF is in front. They played awfully well today, and while there's no Dante Culpepper out there, this group is hanging tough. They're up by 4 over Indiana. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Incomplete. Looked as if he had his man, but just a misfire from this senior.
The offense obviously trailing here in the second half. They're going to have to be able to throw the football effectively to come back in this game. But in order for that to happen, they have got to do a better job up front blocking.
Rush is on him. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Well, this is a big moment for this offense, too, because you want to capitalize on getting the turnover, right? You just threw an incompletion. Now you got a big down coming up. You've got to find a way to make a play here so that you can generate points and capitalize off of the opponent's mistake.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Scrambling away. He'll try to do it himself. Got room at the 35. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
And this offense has got to keep pumping it out. Nice job. You get the first down. Nice scramble by this QB, but you're going to put the ball in his hands over and over and over again. You got to score multiple times. This offense has got to be in hyperspeed.
Here's a heat. Going to try to get it. Turning it on. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. Clemson jumps to the line.
And he's just proving it time and time again, man. He has that feel. He obviously has the ability to pick up and put him down and go get first downs, but I think the timing of when to scramble and when not to scramble, he's really got that figured out, and you can tell it's going to be a big part of the game.
Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Catch in the middle. It's Porter. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. The hurry up now. Second down. Clock ticking. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
It's been really hard on this quarterback affect his rhythm with a solid pass rush, and you saw it right there getting the sack.
He wants it all. Throw to the end zone, picked off.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And he was greeted by a host of defenders and barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Offenses, when they run these RPOs, they just want to be comfortable. The quarterback wants to make the read very easy, very clean. It's your job as a defense kind of create some confusion, speed up that process any way you can.
Here comes the heat. And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. Touchdown, Tigers. And they turn it into a defensive score.
How fast did this game just change? Offense in the lead with the football looking great. Defense makes the big play. We've got ourselves a ball game now.
Let's see if they can roll snake eyes in a good way and get the deuce. Makes his way into the end zone, and now they're within 5.
How about that, guys? That's basically a 15-point swing. Defense gets a pick 6, and then your offense gets the 2-point conversion. Wow.
Just under 30 seconds left, so they've got a chance if they can get this onside kick. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. So we've got a tight spot here, David. They'd love to run out the clock, but all those timeouts staring at them.
They got 3 timeouts on defense, but I know a first down ends this football game. So I got to get my guys physical, ready to roll.
Yeah, because you know this defense is going to be playing the run. They're going to be loading the box, trying to get tackles, using their timeouts to get the football back. So this is going to come down to who's better in the trenches.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Clock is stopped. Timeout used by the defense. 14 seconds left.
It's a great play there by the defense, stopping that run. But now with less than a minute to go, you got to use your timeout. You got to try and conserve as much clock as possible to give yourself a chance to win.
Wide receiver comes in motion. He'll throw on 3rd down. A shot toward the end zone. And he's got it for the touchdown, and that one just...
And they say play to the final whistle. This offense took it to heart. Scoring late, maybe they could have wasted the clock. They made no doubt about it. This one's over.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And after the extra point, they're on top by 12. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they top it off with a 31-yard toss for 6. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. And after this play, the cake will be baked. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Makes the catch. It's Porter. Crosses the 30. He's got to lay it. And they fight them to the bitter end, all the way down to putting some more numbers in the stat column, but they'll come up a little short as time expires. They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for the squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals. It usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible now.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent. Looking ahead to next season, but that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.